On tonight's Wales at 6, Cardiff Uni admits shortfalls after student Mared took her own life hours after receiving the wrong exam results. Her mother says their lives are forever changed.
That family unit has gone forever because of one tragic, unnecessary mistake.
Also tonight, a prison officer avoids jail for having an inappropriate relationship with an inmate. We'll be live with the latest from court. The multi-million-pound job to save this street from a sinkhole. 9 months on, we're behind the scenes to see the scale of the operation. And stay tuned for the big reveal. We announce our very special Pride of Britain Fundraiser of the Year winner later in the programme. Hello, good evening to you. Heading to university is a major step in any student's life, but for Mared folks' family, it is a moment etched on their minds. Mared took her own life after incorrect exam results stated she'd failed a unit. Tonight, for the first time, the university's Vice-Chancellor says the institution should have done better. Professor Wendy Lana says changes have been made. With tonight's top story, here's Ness Jenkins.
Mared's dream was to become a pharmacist. But after receiving her second-year results, stating she couldn't progress to her third year, Mared took her own life. It was a day that changed this family home forever.
And the policeman came here and said there'd been an accident involving Mared. And then they said it was a fatal accident. And you just can't believe it. We have never been the same again.
The results Mared received from Cardiff University said she had failed one assessment, but she had in fact resat that unit and had passed. That updated result wasn't on the transcript.
She left here under the impression that she had failed that one part of the unit when she hadn't.
Do you feel like Mared's death could have been prevented?
Yes, definitely yes. If she'd gone to another university, she would still be with us. I am sure she would still be with us.
160 higher education students in England and Wales take their own lives each year. For the first time since Mared folks' death, Cardiff University's Vice-Chancellor Wendy Lana has agreed to an interview.
Iona says in our programme, had Mared gone to a different university, she would still be with them. How's that to you?
Every life matters. Mared's life matters. She was a very valued member of the School of Pharmacy of our university.
And on that result day, 7 hours after she received that mark for that particular unit, she had taken her own life. What's changed in terms of the way you present results?
So the students who receive their results no longer have to wait till September for the outcome of resits. We've learned from Mared's death. We've learned from the wider.
Is that regrettable though, that you've had to learn from a loss of life? We've had to lose Mared before changes have happened.
I think we could have done better. My understanding is my predecessor did apologise to the family for the mistakes that were made. I am new. We have new leadership in place, including in the areas that our student support services come under.
With thousands now starting a new academic year, for Mared's family, it marks what she never got to finish.
And Nest is live outside the university for us this evening. Nest, a case which has impacted a whole community. Where does the family go from here?
Yes, Andrea, despite the Vice-Chancellor telling me that changes have been made, Mared's family believe that those don't go far enough. Iona Folks has written to every university, every politician in Wales, calling for a stronger duty of care by universities over their students. This would mean a legal obligation to protect student well-being, not just the current general one that's in place. In response to these calls, Cardiff University says that they've got measures in place to protect student well-being welfare, but they say that the view across the sector is it wouldn't be practical for a legal duty of care. But Andrea, being here tonight at the start of a new term, a new year, a new chapter for so many students, Mared's story is a tragic reminder of what can go wrong and a reminder for people to go out and reach for help if needed. And if anyone's been affected by this story tonight, they can access help via our website, itv.com/helplines.
Yes, thank you, and thanks for highlighting those. And you can see more on that on Wales This Week. That's tonight here on ITV1 Wales at 7 o'clock, or you can catch up on ITVX. To politics, and Health Secretary Jeremy Miles says he'll be standing down at next year's election. In a surprise move, Mr Miles says he's taken the decision in order to seek a different challenge. Well, with more, here's our reporter Megan Boot in the studio. Another key Labour figure who's leaving next May then.
Yes, Andrea, he's been in the Senedd representing the people of Neath for nearly a decade, and he's also held key positions, like you say, in government. So yes, Health Secretary, but he's also been Education Secretary, Energy Secretary, Minister for the Welsh Language, for Brexit. It's a long list, for post-COVID planning and Council General. So really, you know, this is a man that's been right at the heart of Welsh politics. And don't forget, it was just last year that he ran against Vaughan Gething for the Welsh Labour leadership, and at that time to be First Minister. But that leadership race really highlighted divisions in the party at the time, divisions that Eluned Morgan has tried to heal. And in some quarters, Jeremy Miles was actually seen as a future leader. So it is a bit of a surprise.
It is. And where does that leave the First Minister, Eluned Morgan, now, do you think?
Well, in her reply to Mr Miles this afternoon, she said she's sad that he won't be in the next Senedd. And it's been quite a week for her. You know, our poll put of Senedd voting attentions put Labour at third, at their lowest popularity since devolution began. She's described the results as challenging. She knows the party needs to do more, but this idea of losing someone with such experience, not seeking re-election, well, you can see why she says she's sad.
Yeah, plenty more to talk about. Megan Boot, thank you. A prison officer has avoided jail for having an inappropriate relationship with an inmate. 23-year-old Megan Breen struck up the relationship whilst working at Prescoed Open Prison near Usk. She was given a 10-month jail sentence, suspended for 18 months. From Cardiff Crown Court, here's our correspondent Richard Morgan.
Cardiff Crown Court heard this relationship came to light when Megan Breen was talking with a fellow prisoner officer in 2022. She told her colleague that she'd slept with an inmate when he was on weekend release in Liverpool, and she was in the city to celebrate her 20th birthday. Megan Breen, seen in the middle here, arriving at court, was 19 when she started work as a prison officer. The court heard she'd had induction training where it was made clear that personal relationships with inmates were strictly prohibited. But despite this, when her colleague asked her if she understood the consequences of her actions, she replied, "Yeah, 5 years, but no one is going to tell anyone." Now, the governor of HMP Prescoed said cases like this fell far below the standards of behaviour for officers rightfully expected by the public. Judge Tracy Lloyd-Clark told the defendant that the custodial threshold had been met, but because of her pregnancy and the fact she already had a 1-year-old son, the situation was exceptional. Breen was sentenced to 10 months in prison, suspended for 18 months and ordered to undertake rehabilitation activities. Richard Morgan, ITV News at Cardiff Crown Court.
Researchers at Swansea University say they've developed a groundbreaking treatment for the COVID-19 virus. The groundbreaking sugar-coated nanoparticle blocks the disease from infecting human cells. It's hoped the technique will help in any similar events in future, as our Swansea correspondent Dean Thomas Welch explains.
The threat of COVID still lingers in the back of our minds. In a lab at Swansea University, researchers believe they've discovered a groundbreaking new treatment that has so far shown to be highly effective against all strains of the virus. It's thanks to a lab-made sugar-coated nanoparticle that these scientists hope could change the outlook of any future pandemic.
These nanoparticles, these sugar-coated structures, can reduce the infection up to 99% in the lab testing. And in terms of real treatment, we still need to do a lot of analysis because we are looking forward. So, and these results make it worthwhile to move forward.
These scientists say the synthetic molecule they have created acts as a decoy to attract the COVID virus. Instead of latching onto human cells, the virus is instead attracted to the nanoparticle, stifling infection.
This is a new approach where we're taking polymers, so really big chain particles, and the way I like to think of it is this is more like a net with sticky spots on it, which can then trick the virus into thinking that it's doing what it wants to do, but it's actually completely stopping it from being able to do that.
The importance of creating new ways to fight COVID cannot be understated, particularly as distrust around vaccines is growing within the UK. Last year, a poll by YouGov found 30% of adults believe vaccines have harmful effects, up from 19% in 2019 before the pandemic. In collaboration with scientists in Berlin, the team at Swansea University want to put Wales at the heart of developing future COVID treatments.
Such work is really important for Swansea and Wales especially, and it will bring significant recognition to the community, to the Welsh community also, if we are doing such research. That carries great importance.
The new nanoparticle cure has some way to go before it's approved to be used by humans. However, this discovery could be the beginning of a new, effective, life-saving COVID treatment. Dean Thomas Welch, ITV News in Swansea.
Well, still to come. The weekend is just around the corner. Ruth, what can we expect?
Don't ask, I think. Rain and quite a lot of it too, with warnings for tomorrow for parts of Wales, as there could be some disruption. Which is why it's good to know there are people out there keeping an eye out for our safety. We meet the Coast Watch volunteers at Llandudno, who've got a brand new state-of-the-art building to call home.
Now, on the 1st of December last year, residents living on a housing estate in Merthyr Tydfil were given just 10 minutes to evacuate their homes when a sinkhole opened up. Most residents were back home in time for Christmas, but 9 months on and the disruption continues. Engineers have been building a brand new culvert below the sinkhole in an operation they've described as the biggest they've ever faced. Well, our correspondent Hannah Thomas is there for us tonight. Good evening, Hannah. The road still closed.
It absolutely is, Andrea, yes, and you will see in a moment just why. For now, you can see the gate firmly locked behind me. That is the gate to the construction site. Now, I was last on this road 9 months ago when it was shut to traffic because of that sinkhole. The sinkhole opened up because a culvert had collapsed in the aftermath of Storm Bert, and a sinkhole then arose to the surface. Tonight, though, the road, as you can see, is firmly closed, but we have spent the day on site.
9 months on from the sinkhole saga, and a lot has changed. The hole has got even bigger, and there's been a multi-million-pound operation to fix what caused it. Meirig Price is one resident who's been living alongside the works.
It is what it is. Job had to be done, and we've had to put up with it. We've been fortunate, we were just on the edge of the estate, so we're the first house in, so we haven't been disrupted so much by the actual work, with traffic passing back and forth, yes, of course. But I'm looking forward to having my garage back, because my car is out there at the moment, and I've got to walk all the way around. But hopefully, cross fingers, this won't be too long now.
This was the sinkhole in December last year. The rushing water shows where a culvert had collapsed deep underground. Residents were evacuated while the area was made safe. But when they returned, the real work began. This photo shows how far down engineers had to go to rebuild the tunnel-shaped culvert. They've described it as a unique situation and beyond anything they've ever experienced before.
There's been multiple different arrangements for residents to be rehomed whilst we've been doing the works. They've been very kind to us on a personal level. They've cooked Christmas dinner for the security guards, been very welcoming, but also put up with some very heavy civil engineering works. The hole's much deeper than we've done before, and obviously it's in a very challenging location. We're usually on the side of a mountain or in a forest. That's challenging enough, but in the middle of a cul-de-sac, that adds a different element to it.
From the air, you can see the size of the building site that's being constructed. Engineers say they've coordinated a difficult project, and Merthyr Council have said that it has been complex and technically demanding, and they thank residents for their continued cooperation and patience.
When it's outside someone's front door, I think that brings it all into perspective. I mean, if you're opening your front door and you've got a 14-metre deep hole in front of it, the scale is enormous. So we've actually knitted together the two broken ends of the culvert with a reinforced concrete new structure and ensure that that connects and can convey the flow back through the culvert before we backfill in.
They're hoping to do that in the next couple of weeks, and residents are hoping that this will all be over by early October.
Well, of course, since this sinkhole opened up last December, we have seen other sinkholes open up across Wales, and with them the chaos of who is going to repair them. Now, these sinkholes often open up on top of culverts that were built in the Victorian era. And with climate change, as we head into now the autumn and the winter, and the intensity and the frequency of those storms increases, who knows if we'll see another sinkhole in the not too distant future. The residents here, though, well, they will be hoping and they will be praying that they will be able to get back to some sort of normality before Christmas after all the upheaval that they've seen. This sinkhole was not the first one that we've witnessed in Wales, and we also know that it certainly wasn't the last either, Andrea.
Well, some remarkable engineering going on there to repair it. Hannah, thanks for that insight. Wales' first ever woman to win an Olympic gold medal has been recognised with a purple plaque. Irene Steer from Cardiff won the 4x100 metre freestyle relay at the 1912 Olympics in Stockholm. The unveiling of the plaque took place at Roath Lake, where Steer practised her swimming. Her grandson David says it's a fitting tribute to her legacy. And Glamorgan Cricket Club have secured a long-awaited promotion, returning to top-tier Championship cricket for the first time in 21 years. Despite their rain-affected draw against Derbyshire yesterday, their place in Division 1 is now confirmed. With one game left, they'll return home to celebrate this historic achievement in front of fans at Sapphire Gardens next week. All week we've brought you some inspirational stories as part of our Pride of Britain coverage, but only one can represent us at the awards in London. Our reporter Issa Farfor's been to surprise the winner.
I'm here at the Deaf Centre in Llanelli, ready to surprise the winner. She has absolutely no idea. We are all here to surprise her. And I'm pleased to say the ITV Wales Fundraiser of the Year award goes to Kaz Jeffries.
We've raised about £66,000 at the moment, and we just keep going and keep going. I think I worry more about this place than I do my own home, and I'm definitely here more than I am in my own home. My husband says, "Oh, I know you. You're my wife."
Kaz, nice to see you again. You are the ITV Wales Fundraiser of the Year.
Yeah, it's just so much.
What does it mean to you?
It means more people are going to be looking at the deaf community, and hopefully they won't see me as just a speaking hearing person, because I'm a deaf person first. I have no words. I just do it.
And what's next for you?
Finish this building, repair it, get the work done, and then we'll go on to the next project, which is a lift, which I already know in my head.
She's shining a light on the issues that deaf people face daily and the access and the barriers that they face all the time. And all of this being on TV and the national recognition she gets for it, it just shows that deaf people, that they're here, they're loud, they're proud, and they can do things.
When I was one of the first children to start when she started Youth Club for the Deaf, she taught me sign language, and it helped me evolve to become the person I am today.
She isn't in it for herself. You know, she is purely in it for all of the deaf community. And that she puts her heart and soul into it. She really does.
She is deaf ma. She is deaf ma to mine as well. They just adopt her. She's theirs, and yeah, she cares and loves for them as they were her own.
We really appreciate her. She's so valuable. If she didn't do all of that, we wouldn't have what we had now. So she's so valuable to us, and it's amazing.
I think our choice, Kaz, I thought was different, was something that I hadn't really considered. And the work that she's done to make a community feel more accepted, it's something that you take for granted until you don't. And I think she's someone who's really raising awareness, but equally giving back to her community.
Congratulations to Kaz and good luck to her in London. When it is weather time, you did mention warnings earlier on.
I know, I'm sorry, yes. After all of that, there's absolutely nothing heartwarming about the weather for this weekend, I'm afraid. We're about to get an awful lot more rain and our coasts are likely to be really affected, which is why it's always good to know that there are people out there keeping an eye out for our safety. At Llandudno's West Shore, a group of volunteers from the National Coast Watch Institution man the shores in case the alarm needs raising. And now they have a permanent state-of-the-art new home to work from. Joanne Gallagher has been to meet them.
Thank you, Llandudno. This is Holly Head.
These volunteers keep their eyes peeled across this shoreline to help keep their community and visitors safe. They're not paid, but they're highly trained, and they come out in all weathers. Well, now they've got a permanent watch station on Llandudno's West Shore.
We were historically up on the Great Orme, but the Coast Guard asked us to move down onto West Shore because this beautiful popular beach is a hazardous area, mainly because of the sandbanks.
The new stations cost more than £40,000 and its official opening has drawn quite the crowd. Gary, a former police officer, heads up the team here.
We're a lookout station, so we see a person in difficulty, then we'll collect certain information which the Coast Guard can then deploy their resources to.
This is a beautiful part of the North Wales coastline. When the tide is out, people can walk for up to a mile out towards the sea. But then when it comes back in, you can get stranded on a sandbank, and that is when trouble can occur. The sea takes no prisoners, which is why the community of volunteers here are so badly needed.
After a heart attack 2 years ago, Wendy made some big life changes, and volunteering here completes a childhood dream.
I was told that I couldn't become a Coast Guard because girls can't become Coast Guards. So I had to kind of abandon that dream. That did change about 10 years later. I honestly feel that the 10-year-old girl who still lives inside me is doing cartwheels because I'm now able to live that dream.
And as they close up for another day, the future looks bright for this group of volunteers who give so much, day in, day out, for free.
More on those dreams and those cartwheels. Head over to ITVX for Joanne's full report. You can find us by choosing categories, then news and select Wales. You can catch up with the latest news and all of our favourite programmes like Coast and Country and Sharp End. And it's the same on your phone or smart TV. Now then, I did say there was absolutely nothing heartwarming at all about the weather as we head into the coming weekend. So let's get the yucky bit out of the way. We'll start by talking about weather warnings because almost the whole of Wales will wake tomorrow to a yellow weather warning to be aware of very heavy rain. And I did say a few moments ago that coastal areas in particular are going to see some really heavy, prolonged downpours, some strong winds, so possibly some disruption and, well, as I say, thoroughly miserable conditions. And you can see all of this play out quite quickly on the bigger picture. But you can see a band of rain just not really going anywhere, so the rain will keep on coming, and then the rain will go. Things will get better through Sunday, and then as we head into Monday, we've got a little ridge of high pressure. What does that mean? Well, at this time of the year, it means things will remain generally calm and quiet. We could, dare I say it, actually see a little bit of sunshine into next week. However, it's never that simple, is it? Because we are also going to tap into colder air, and so next week by day and particularly by night, we're going to feel the chill and the first substantial seasonal frosts as well. Here are the details.
Midday Mayan temples, followed by sunny afternoons on the sand. TUI sponsors ITV Cymru Wales weather.
Not a bad evening across much of Wales out there. We've had some late afternoon, evening sunshine. As we head through the next few hours, though, as you can see, you probably don't need me to point out, it is going to go downhill quite quickly. The blues and greens there show the rain pushing steadily southwards and eastwards overnight tonight. And as I've been saying, just be careful, not particularly pleasant with some really heavy downpours. Lots of low cloud, murky conditions tonight, but the temperatures will remain very mild, hovering at around 15 or 16 in Celsius. That's the good bit. The slightly less good bit then is the weather we wake to tomorrow morning, and the warnings I've been mentioning come into force during the morning, and you can see exactly why. Further heavy downpours slowly working their way eastwards, nasty conditions clearing from the southwest into the afternoon, so something a little bit more cheerful here. A little bit of a breeze will develop with that wet weather, and you can see the temperatures already down on today's values, quite a significant drop actually, so starting that downward trend. Now, the weather warning runs until Sunday morning, and you can see further heavy rain working its way associated with that band of rain, clearing from much of Wales then by the early hours of Sunday morning. The heavy rain will clear. The legacy will be a mixture of scattered showers. So as far as Sunday is concerned, it's going to be slightly more cheerful than Saturday, but the showers never too far away. And already you can see the temperatures continuing to drop. And we've got more of a northerly airflow, quite a keen breeze developing on Sunday. We could see gales around coastal areas, highs of 13 or 14 in Celsius. That's by day, but you'll notice a significant drop in those temperatures next week overnight, with the first proper frosts of the season too.
TUI sponsors ITV Cymru Wales weather.
So a bit of eventful weather, that's the best way of putting it for the next couple of days, and then next week it'll all be forgotten, it'll all be calm and quiet, but we'll be complaining about the cold instead.
Probably.
Yeah, I know I will.
But tomorrow definitely looks like a write-off, doesn't it?
Yeah, yucky.
Thanks for the heads up. And that's it for now. Megan Boots here with the late update from us. Bye-bye.